This is like Couch Go a Hop, but it's Couch Co-op, and we're sitting in the Milkman Drinks a Beer set, and I have special guest. Well, not special guest, he's part of the show.
Not that special.
It's a special episode is what I'm trying to say. It's different, and what are we doing today?
We're comparing old and new.
Oh yeah, we got the old one, and we got the new one.
With the old and with the new.
So we're gonna try this one first, and then we're just gonna talk about it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pop it. Pop. Actually, you just give me that one, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever's easier.
Ew, your dirty hands. As I try to keep my keys in
I don't think I'm not sick. It doesn't have like a really super distinct smell.
There's a little bit of sweetness. It almost kind of makes me think of summer rafting.
And it's sunny.
Mm-hmm.
It's not summer though.
Far from it.
Oh shit, we should have cheers. How is this one? What was the expiration date on this one? Enjoy by
April.
Oh, so this one's still good.
April 30th of this year.
We were just at Total Wine, and they had a shit ton of the old stuff still. So if you want this,
Total Wine's the place to get it, or Safeway Canby, which is where I found mine. I don't know why you're in Canby. Get away from me.
Yeah, my Safeway has the new stuff and has none of the old stuff. And then when we went to Total Wine, I figured they would just have it.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, they've got well, what it is, they've got stacks and stacks and stacks of the old 12 packs, but they had the new 6 packs.
But it seemed like it was hidden in a way that was, I don't know. It just seemed like very like, oh, this is a thing, but not yet.
The distributor is dumping all the old stuff off on them.
Which I'm surprised that they didn't push, like, I guess maybe they just have different deals with different, like, safe. Well, you know, you got yours at Safeway, right? Or no, Thriftway?
Yeah.
What is
the old stuff is Safeway.
Oh, it's not Safeway.
New stuff is at Thriftway. It's just, I mean, I don't know how Washington does their sales, but Oregon doesn't really allow them to do, like, deals and stuff like that.
So at my Safeway, the new stuff, I think I got, like, they had it, but, like, I think I got the last 6-pack. Like, it was popular. It was selling, like... This, I don't think anyone, at Total Wine, I don't think anyone knew. Like, no one seemed to care. It was, like, the front-facing one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there was, like, I don't know if somebody just pulled the 6-pack forward. Because that's a weird thing about stores is it's not whether the shelf is empty, it just needs to look full for some reason.
What's your earliest memory of Fat Tire?
People telling me, it was before I even actually tried it, but it was probably around the mid-2000s, they were telling me, like, hey, this is not a bad beer, which, I mean, I guess it's not, but I mean, it's more of kind of like an entry-level craft beer.
It's kind of an entry-level amber ale, really. I think it's probably the most lightest amber ale of, like, a lot of the ones that we know. Like, this flavor is pretty chill. Mine, I just remember being in school in Seattle. That's when I turned 21, so like 99, 2000. I wasn't into beer then, but I just remember it being the alternate beer to like Hefeweizen. Like everyone was drinking Hef, and then I'd have some friends that were just like sick of Hef, and they'd always order Fat Tire. So I just remember that.
Yeah, and I do remember, like, I remember even the older label, which actually had, like, I don't know if you remember.
Oh,
like,
yeah, kind of painted.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of their, like, even the great winter beer that I like, Two Below, it was kind of that similar style. Right. But it had a bike on it that looked a little more cartoonish. But
they've definitely tried to, like, minimize their label over the years. And then the new one, you'll see, like, totally kind of like, make it simple. Like, more of a... Because I do get the original look, having that kind of painterly picture with the bike against the wall or whatever it was. Like, it's just... It's not like the neon sign of Fat Tire was always that, like, red bike with the yellow tire. Yeah. Like, that wasn't what was on the label of Fat Tire, the beer, generally. Like that kind of look, that kind of, I feel like it wasn't this type of bike or
no.
Like the neon sign had more of an edge to it than the kind of, it's like an old man beer or something.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it for years before I eventually started drinking it, and wasn't sure what to make of it because this was back before I was into beer, and just fat tire probably tastes like flat tire.
You know what's funny?
So ended my comedy career. At the time, too.
I'm excited to try this one now, because having just recently drank the new one, and the reason why we're doing this today, I actually now do taste it quite a bit different.
Do you?
Like it's interesting.
Yeah, that's why I'm always curious about doing stuff like this, because it's one thing to drink one day and then drink a new formulation or something like days later, but
Right.
It's completely different when you've actually got them side by side to actually do an actual comparison.
Because we did this on the show a few weeks back, right? Or no? Did we not
weeks, maybe?
Or a month or
month
something?
or
Months
two?
or so. I feel like we've done
Not
it.
long ago.
We did it though recently.
It's recent.
Yeah. It was like my pick, I think.
Mm-hmm.
In my
In your attempt to
my continued quest to bring back ambers,
yeah.
a beer style that is woefully underrepresented amongst all the IPA bullshit. Anyway,
Yes.
it's just an
a
opinion.
sea of IPA.
Hazy, doubles, triples, cold. Now you got the cold ones.
Genres upon genres, subgenres, and
You know what's gonna suck though? At some point, it's gonna be hazy amber or hoppy amber. It's like these, like I don't know. I should keep my fucking mouth shut. These breweries don't need these fucking ideas.
Well, I mean, if it's to elevate some amber, maybe in the short term, and then they'll get tired of it, like not your father's root beer, or
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Like, there's just like some funny shit that you like remember drinking when you were younger, or like just has a moment.
But just quickly on the amber part, I do remember doing a beer trade around 2010 with some random guy on a Subaru board, and he gave me a lot of this one brewery that from Pennsylvania, and they actually did have an Imperial Amber.
Oh, really?
And it was quite tasty.
Oh, interesting. That'd be.
Actually,
Do you remember what it was?
I think it's Trogs. I don't know. It's something along
You've
those
never
lines.
seen it again?
No, because it's not available out here.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's still open. Last I checked, which maybe was probably about a year or two ago. But it's a fine brewery. I had a lot of beers that came from them, and a lot of them are really tasty. So if I could ever get
Was it
my
like a
hands on
boutique brewery then, or was it like were they pretty big for that area?
I think they were available in multiple states. Just,
okay.
I mean, it's kind of regional, kind of like probably anything that you'd find here that, unfortunately, John probably can't get in Vegas. But I mean, it's well available here in Oregon, Washington, maybe Idaho.
Can I put forward an amber chelada? No. No.
If you want.
It's a joke.
Every day we stray further and further from God.
Oh. God doesn't drink beer. Come on.
That's right. Wine. No, wait, that's...
This is a pretty good beer. It is... When I compare it to the other ones that I really like, though, it is on the lower side of... It's not the one I would go to.
It's a very easy drinking, very... Yes, it's not a craft knockout punch by any stretch of the means, which is...
It's almost kind of interesting that it broke the way it did. I think.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think it's that... I mean, I don't want to... I knew I was positive on this beer, but its flavor profile isn't that remarkable, ultimately. No. Like,
bottles are tough on teeth.
I could have got pint glasses, but I'm sorry. We should have probably done the color test, too.
Well,
oh my god.
We've got 2 6-packs. Maybe this is going to be a 2-parter, folks.
Alright, so we're just going to cut in here because we were talking about... What were we talking about?
The color.
Comparing the colors. So supposedly they changed the recipe. Maybe they didn't really. These glasses are kind of warm because they just came out of the... But I wanted to use the same exact... I want to use the same exact glass. And we've both been to this. We could promote the Craft Beer and Wine Festival.
Esther Shore Park.
Super fun. Vancouver.
Not too popular. or not too populated, rather.
But a nice little brewfest.
Mm-hmm.
So, because he likes the original label more, he's gonna do that one, and then I'm gonna do the. Oh, here, I'll hold this for you. All right. Caps. Hey, you can have your glass. Let us pour.
Note the beer coloring of the beer.
They look pretty fucking the same.
Nice. Little honey colored.
Yeah, it's well, no, they're pretty much the same.
Yeah, I mean it probably depends on like the angle of whatever.
Aged. They look pretty much the same.
I think mine looks 3 days older.
3 days older?
Yes.
Mine looks 2 days younger. And there you go. That was the color test that we interrupted that video for, just so you guys would know that we didn't fuck up completely. So we're gonna turn off the camera and then finish these beers because we have more to say on the actual video. Cheers. I do understand I mean, they wanted obviously to do a marketing rebrand, but the reason they changed the recipe was to they're like, even on this, they're carbon neutral certified, but I think they wanted to make their footprint on the planet even less, and so by means of doing that, they changed like I think for this it's a certain thing, but I think none of the energy that is used to make this beer is I don't know, what is it? Yeah, it's alternatively powered. So like none of it's not like it's from like the sun and it's not like.
Well, I want to say years ago they were always touting that they were wind powered.
Right. At least partially anyway.
Yeah, and I think they also do CO2 capturing too.
But aren't they owned by somebody? Who are they? They're not like independent anymore.
No.
Yeah, we'd have to look. Where's your big ass computer that you keep in your pocket?
That's apparently magnetized.
Oh, nice! Yeah, give me that. I'll take that. Just put it over here. That is cool. It's magnetized.
Yeah.
Look, it's like yeah. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I was giving Nick a little bit of shit earlier that he's the one dude that I know in my group of friends. Most people I know that like always has his iPad on him.
I love carrying this thing around.
He's dedicated himself to being like that Star Trek future or Mass Effect future where it's just like he's got it with him.
Or I just really want an oversized Pit Boy.
Oh, that too. Yeah. There you go.
But unfortunately, my iPad is confused as to what the signal strength is over here.
Oh, you on cellular? I could have given you my Wi-Fi. I should have thought about that.
Oh, but I have an unlimited data plan that I just love to abuse.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, I have unlimited.
Apparently, it's abusing me today.
It's also a funny name for a beer.
Yeah.
It's just out of the blue. Hey, Fat Tire.
I mean, there is a story behind it, and I'll never get to it because the stuff isn't loading.
Wow, we didn't even get to that on the actual fucking episode we did.
No, well, I think the founders were actually big fans
Probably.
of riding bikes.
Probably. That makes sense.
And there's, I think Fat Tire has something to do with that. Probably mountain biking in the Rockies. I don't know.
Yeah, but yet
I imagine having street tires while going off road probably wouldn't last very long.
But it's funny then though. But then if that's their background, but then they use a fucking ancient ass bike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of looks like a beach cruiser.
It's probably something from the fucking 60s, though.
At least it's not one of those old-timey bicycles where the front wheels are huge and then you got the small one.
That's what New Belgium should have adopted, though. I mean, hey, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything negative against your marketing team, but like, it should have been like all your beers should have been different bicycles. You know, old-timey. You could do some. I don't know. I'm just saying, guys. Hit me up on the flip phone.
BMX Belgian.
Mm-hmm. That could have been the radical, like, triple IPA. Because it's doing triple flips. Anyway. Are we going to move on? Are you ready to move on?
Yeah, because my shit's not loading, even though I have 3 bars and it's a 5G plus.
Hey, listen, you guys have Google.
Yeah.
You go fucking...
Google it for me. Leave me alone.
Hit us up. Let us know how... Let us know we fucked up and tell us why we fucked up. Oh, you gotta get out the topper.
Felix the kangaroo.
So you know what? I'm gonna say this before I drink it. This might be. I might actually like this better than the old version.
All right then.
Probably should have brought some water out just to kind of
cleanse the palate a little bit. Yeah, I probably should have done that too, even before I started. So I had some St. Pauli girl and Cheetos beforehand. You know.
All right, here's number 2.
It smells the same,
or
very similar.
I think it's crisper.
Does the ABV change on it by chance?
It's 5.2, and this is 5.2 as well.
Oh, okay.
So it didn't change. I don't really think...
I'm trying to look at the... May 23rd. Okay. So that's only what?
Wow,
it's only like a couple days.
Yeah, it's like really...
Wow.
They like... This is like they stopped the line. Maybe they're lying to us.
It's a conspiracy.
I do think this is crisper, though. I also taste a lot of the metal cap.
I'm actually not noticing a huge difference.
Yeah, it's which is also cool if you can change a recipe and not. Well, we don't really know what. I don't really think they changed.
What did they change?
Yeah, I don't know if they really changed. Well, they talk about changing the recipe, but I think they only change it in the way they make it versus the way it really is. Like maybe the water's handled differently, or.
Maybe it's instead of using Kirkland bottled water, they use refrigerator filtered water. Oh no, that's only in my house.
I don't know. I feel it's a little crisper. No?
I don't know. It tastes like 3 days fresher. I don't know.
3 days. It's 3 days fresher. Anyway, I know Nick's not a big fan of the new logo.
I think like the older stuff.
He likes the older logo.
Yeah.
I like this logo.
Not the oldest. But.
It is very reminiscent of the Harp Lager logo. Like, not like it's this, but the color scheme and kind of how it's laid out is kind of very similar to Harp. I'm surprised that wasn't brought up, but maybe because Harp isn't a presence over here.
No, I mean, where do you find it? I mean, they used to deliver it now.
Yeah, no one cares about it. Which is sad.
This is 15 years ago.
It's a great fucking beer. It's funny how great beers just kind of fall to the wayside.
Yeah.
Mainly because of this goddamn IPA bullshit. Like, everyone's got to have an IPA.
It's IPA or Bowie. One of the two.
Dude, how does Bowie get so much face space? And they have a huge line of different... They have a Kolsch, they have a cream ale, they have all this shit. They're allowed to have all this space with different beers. Yet they're incredibly... meh. They're fine. Hey, I'll drink a Bowie beer. Come on. It's fine. But, like, at the end of the day...
They don't make an amber. It's a fun.
They don't. Hey, Bowie, make an amber.
Yeah, or else we're going to go to Astoria Brewing, who does make an amber. And it's actually not bad.
That's an interesting thing, too, that we haven't really talked about a lot. Is that we should talk about... We should have more episodes... Maybe we should do more focused Couch Co-op episodes.
Couch Co-op, or just beer choosing...
No, but, like we pick a beer,
this.
but, like, we decide to, like... Because I know I moved everything to the main channel, because I just wanted... But, like, we could still start doing, like maybe more specialty discussions on the show. Kind of like this. Just where we do a beer, but, like, then we talk more about beer. Because it's, like, if you look at Fort George, they're really about what's hot. Stouts, IPAs, and maybe a Pilsner. But they don't do I don't think they do they don't do a fucking amber. They don't do.
And if they probably did, it's probably just like kind
It was like a
public exclusive.
Yeah.
Like you have to be here to try it, folks.
I mean, and they know what's up. They do what they do, and they're really good at it. But it's like, you look at like, something like Astoria that doesn't really distribute their beers like wide.
I don't even know if they have distribution.
But they, as a brewery like that, they have to make a bunch of different beers, because they're making beers for everybody. I don't know. But I like a trapdoor. I just look at
Trying
trapdoor.
to cast a wide net to catch as many.
I don't think Trapdoor's ever made an amber or a red. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these other great beers, but we're just stuck in what it sells. So Fort George is successful because they succeed at doing the IPA thing really well. But like, there's these other beer styles that just get kind of forgotten.
I know, nothing's worse than when I try to find a barley wine. I can't find one.
I mean, at a brewery, you mean?
Well, no, just if I'm out shopping about, like at a store. I mean, I'm
We
definitely not going to find one at Safeway or Fred Meyer. I mean,
that's true. I mean,
I'll be lucky to find one at...
Obviously, there was a bunch at Total Wine today, but that's
right, but, I mean...
I think... Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, I don't know a brewery that does... I don't know. Oh, well, I think that Wolves and People out where Aaron used to live, I think they do some kind of barley wine shit.
Yeah, I mean, it always seems like a seasonal thing.
Yeah.
It's... I mean, you've got some big names like Alaskan Brewing, another brewery that makes an amber, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
They make a barley wine that even noted beer writer or expert or whatever you want to call him, Michael Jackson, said was one of his favorite beers.
I mean, Alaskan Amber is strong. It's not like a bad beer.
Yeah. Oh, no. We saw it at Total Wine, and I can't wait to...
Wait, when you were in Alaska, did you even attempt to go to the Alaskan brewery, or no?
No, because it's in Juneau.
Oh, and you didn't...
No, well, there's no way to drive. We'd have to drive into Canada to get there.
I guess I wasn't, like, aware, like...
We were in Anchorage.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you either fly into Juneau or you fly into Anchorage. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yes. But where did we go?
Was there breweries you went to?
Yeah, and I already forgot which ones we went to.
Yeah. Were they memorable?
I don't know. The only memory I really have about that trip is I just had a splitting headache the entire time. So it was not a fun trip for me, but no fault of anything else except for just the fact that I just had a splitting, raging migraine every day.
Like, I don't love the Alaskan Amber. It's good. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of on par with this one. Like,
I don't know. I'd take this over an Alaskan Amber.
I might. I don't know. I'd have to drink. It's been a few months since I had the Alaskan.
There's a little bit of a sweetness to this that the Alaskan Amber doesn't have.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's a little bit on the bitter side, I'm sure.
But I haven't had it in a while, so I have to like really drink it again to like confirm that. But like, then you start getting into like the other popular ones like the Mac and Jacks, and then I really like the Full Sail one. I don't know if that's sacrilege, but I really like theirs. And
I've always thought it just tasted like it was almost reminiscent of Mac and Jacks, but
I think it's well, I think I
was missing its sweetness, and it just felt like Mac and Jacks that fell short.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's not a favorite.
It's lower than these ones to you then.
What's that?
It's lower than like this or something.
Yeah, I'd probably take a Fat Tire over Full Sail Amber.
Oh, no way.
But top of the Amber Mountain is going to be Mac and Jacks.
Yeah, at this point, like
on draft.
And you know what sucks?
The can
is fine. Yeah.
So I'm kind of
like, I used to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna jump into
a tirade.
Just a small one, which would probably work well for the discussion thing that you were talking about. But like can versus bottle, it's like I used to love the idea of cans, craft in cans. I loved it, but I mean, even at the same time when I started buying some of the stuff in cans, it just there was always this thought in the back of my mind that this isn't as good as in a bottle as much as I want it to be. But I mean that only works with the beers that I knew that I had in bottles. Like there are some breweries out there that just straight up brew in cans. 21st Amendment, which, for example, is one of them, and Oscar Blues is another one. But
well, it's like that thing.
There's no way to actually compare it, but I mean, for the breweries that do, it's like it's kind of a trade-off. It's like it's great. You can ship a lot more units, and it like even Fat Tire was in a can at one point, which it helps with kind of a carbon offset because you're able to ship more because cans are lighter than glass, but on the other side of that, it's like there's a little bit of a quality issue, and I guess no matter how much you try, beer is still better in a glass bottle.
Right.
I mean, it's basically
it's better in draft,
can.
obviously.
Right.
Yeah, draft, bottle, can. Right. I think it's funny too, because like it wasn't till like recently that the Mac and Jacks was, they started releasing. So like
they started in 93 or 94, and they were draft only
for a long time.
For like I don't really think they started canning stuff like maybe like
I didn't start seeing it for like a couple years too.
Like maybe around the pandemic, or maybe even because I mean there were a couple breweries in Oregon.
Maybe that's what they started to do it because they couldn't sell it.
Well, yeah, because Boneyard was the same way. They didn't start canning stuff until the pandemic.
We need to make
Barley
money.
Browns out in Eastern. I don't know if they consistently can stuff, but there was a time where they did for that very reason.
But the Mac and Jack's Amber, like where I would always get it was at like fucking Cinetopia in Vancouver. Like every time we would go see a movie pre-pandemic, I would just like get when they allowed a pitcher back in the early days, I could get a pitcher for myself of Mac and Jack's. Or it's like, oh, we no longer allow you to do that, but you can get two, or you have to have someone that is sharing it with you. It's like whatever. So like, but I would drink a lot of Mac and Jack's on off draft, and that beer is fucking awesome. And then when it finally did come into cans, I was like, oh fuck yeah, I love this beer. It is a little different in the cans, but it's because it's such a strong beer, it's still really good. So it's like.
But I think that was also part of like when I did the Serengeti wheat, because
right.
that was one that I had draft only, and it's like
didn't.
Great, this is like a wheat beer that I'm not really a big fan of wheat beers, but I love this one. And then we tried it in cans, and it's like,
and I've never gone back to it.
Yeah, and it's like I couldn't even. There was only one place I ever saw it on draft years ago, and it was Henry's when it was open downtown. But I mean, and then I would pick it up when I worked at Columbia. There was a couple kegs that I'd get and have it for my own little private functions, and I'd be the hero with great beer. But
it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing about Mac and Jack's though, that their flagship beer is the Amber. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things I think is super cool. I mean, obviously New Belgium, their flagship. So these companies that are doing this beer that I really enjoy, it's cool to like,
and here's an even fun question to ask: like, what's their IPA?
Does Mac and Jack's even have an IPA?
They do, but I've never
seen
it on draft, and I don't think I've ever seen it in cans either.
Oh, that's cool too. But I think they realize that there's still a market for these other beers that is probably greater than them competing in the IPA market, because the IPA market turnover is so crazy. It's so crazy. Like there's so many. They're constantly changing. They're constantly renaming. It's like, let's just like make the best this and hope people just keep buying it. I think. I don't know. But what was because I know Dead Guy isn't considered an amber, but what is Dead Guy Ale considered?
Maibach?
Oh, Maibach. Okay. I know we talked about that before, but it was escaping me.
Yeah, I don't know. I always figured it was kind of right there in the vicinity back in the day. But that's actually one that
it's a little more aggressive than. Yeah,
but that's actually one that I really liked in cans. I mean,
it's not bad in cans. Too. I used to drink it in bottles. I used to drink the Double Dead Guy in bottles of that pink. Was it like a 20 ounce or something like that? That big bottle. I used to drink that all the time. We were talking about Taco Bell earlier, so I would go get my 10 tacos and then I'd go buy a bottle of that. Like, have I not drank?
I would never do that.
Have I not drank enough tonight?
There is no craft beer on the planet that I'd pair with fast food.
What are you talking about?
It wouldn't work for me.
Live a little.
It's. I mean, I've tried, but.
So what's your kind of? We got to get back on track here. What is your kind of closing thoughts on like this? I think you're right. I think I was thinking it was. I do think it's still a bit more crisp, but I think you're right. It's about on par.
Yeah, I didn't notice a huge difference at all. Like I said, it was like I made a joke about it being 3 days fresher. Taste wise, it's
pretty.
I don't notice a difference, but it could even be just as simple as like batches may be different, but
still a fat tire that if you watch the commercial, it's like, oh, this and that and that. It's like, but it's still, yeah, they already have commercials. I posted one in the Discord for this.
Oh, I didn't.
It's like this is like there was like a it's like a it's just like this is John, and he doesn't know it, but he has the last New Belgium, which is not true because we just drank one of them. But he's got one in his refrigerator.
Apparently, John shops at Total Wine.
Yeah, and he's got the last fat tire of this because everything's changing, and they kind of do this thing. You can search on YouTube for it, but yeah, so they've already started this campaign to move from this to this. But in our experience, I mean, there's a lot of stores that still are selling this fucker. But it doesn't really matter. They're about the same.
Yeah. But it's a reason to drink if you want to experiment yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, no, go check it out. Yeah, do this. Go do this and see if you guys... maybe your palates are more evolved than ours.
Maybe yours aren't tainted by Cheetos like mine.
We did have a St. Pauli girl before this.
That was to cleanse the palate.
Anyway, yeah, this is a fun little episode. Mm-hmm. And I do think moving forward we should do maybe we should be like, hey, I don't know what to talk about video games. Maybe we should do a more of a
table discussion.
More of a beer focused, State of the Union of beer.
Beer of the Union. Maybe.
Beer of the Union.
Maybe we could start... Well, actually, I don't know if cans versus bottles would be much of a topic, but I don't know. It would be worth exploring.
You know what's awesome about this episode? It's because we were planning to do... I was planning to release a Couch Co-op episode for 298, and then Dave and I were going to do our Mass Effect episode, and then our big 300 episode. But what's cool about this is we're going to do nothing but new episodes. So it'll be this episode, 298, the two fat tire comparison, and then it'll be Mass Effect, and then it'll be 300th episode. Man, it's just we're just trying to create great content for you guys. I hope you guys like it. I don't know if anyone cares about fat tire out there. Everyone's just like, I just want to drink an IPA, bro. Or NA beer.
Clearly, they probably checked out of this channel by then. Yeah, and Ryan Chase is probably not watching either.
Well, he doesn't drink beer anymore. He just drinks NA beers.
Apparently, doesn't even do that anymore.
He hasn't. Well, I think he does, but he won't shoot me a video, so whatever.
Come on, Ryan. Do we have to take you up to Total Wine up here while we're buying old fat tire?
Yeah, there's a lot of beers. We it's funny. We sat there for fucking 10-15 minutes just talking about that bullshit.
I'm telling you, that St. Pauli girl NA is one of the best NAs.
I'm gonna try it. If Ryan's not gonna try it, I'm gonna try it.
I'm pretty sure he's had it, and I think he likes it too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we've discussed this, but
anyway. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Nick. I want to thank Nick for coming up and doing this special episode with me. Comparing the two different beers. We appreciate everyone listening and watching.
And if you want to see two beers being compared, well, actually they'll be mixed. But
are you gonna get back into that?
Yes, I am. I've got so I've got some leftover hazelnut brown. I've got a Sam Adams pumpkin ale.
Oh my god, that nutty pumpkin. Nut pump.
But hey, I also have 2 4-packs of. I've got. They're both by Rogue. They're both chocolate stouts, but I think one's either a double chocolate or imperial chocolate stout.
You don't want to add some pineapple? I mean, I can give you that can bag, and you add some pineapple into that.
No, that pineapple. Me giving you that pineapple beer is basically me throwing it away.
So good.
It's throwing it away. Well, no, it's recycling. Because,
recycling.
See, I'm being carbon neutral too.
Yeah. Couch Co-op, carbon neutral.
Yeah, and keep your eyes open for it next year when it shows up on Milkman Drinks a Beer.
I should eat it with pepperoni pizza.
Yes, you should. Well, no, you should just order a straight up ham pizza.
Oh, ham pizza.
Mhm.
I should. That's funny. That's some funny shit. Anyway, let's get out of here. Yeah. So thanks, Nick. We're the couch. Well, we're Couch Co-op. We also do the Couch Co-op beer shit. And we're, if you've never seen a Milkman Drinks a Beer, you can go to youtube.com Milkman Pictures. I do these stupid videos where I drink a beer and kind of review it. Which is kind of...
It was also the basis for how we rate beers when you're watching Couch Co-op.
Yeah, we do that.
Except he has a lot more leeway, too.
Yeah, I do leeway. It's easier.
He gets to do this and this.
Yeah, I gotta... Come on, we gotta reel that in sometimes.
Mm.
Well, it's what gives it a 3.5 if one of us. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the...
Well, I know. It's kind of like when people say they're going to rate it a scale on 1 to 5, and then they start doing the point system, and it's like, motherfucker, just do a 1 to 10 then. Sorry, that's...
Man, aggro over here. Anyway. Anyway. All right. We're probably we're gonna sign off, maybe have another beer and just kind of chill, and then. But we appreciate you guys that watch and listen, and what do we say? Oh yeah, be excellent to each other.
Irresponsible.
Wild stallions.
Sorry, Jared.